for letting me. Seth.
Thank you.
Man, I couldn't get that out.
I knew you meant.
Stumbling all over my word.
These SK Modifieds will be taking on Watkins Glen International Speedway for 40 minutes of racing action. This isn't like the normal races here in this league where it's laps. It'll actually be minutes. So basically how it's going to work is whoever is in the first spot by the time is up, they will be declared the winner. Whoever is in second will finish second. Whoever is in third will finish third. And this is going to be a very, very unique race. This is the first time that I've ever called a race like this before where it's timed instead of laps. And I've never seen SK Modifieds raced on a road course before, so this is going to be very interesting. So far, we see last week's winner, Sean Langton, is the fastest right now, 1 minute 15 seconds, .57. Right behind him, though, it's Eddie Hughes. Third is Stephen Rochefort. Fourth, David Enkenbauer. Fifth is Seth French. And right now, we've had a decent amount of races so far, but still the points standings lead right now is very tight between Eddie Hughes and Logan Powers. But it looks like Eddie Hughes is going to get a bigger lead because it looks like Logan Powers is not in the session tonight. So right now 13 points will separate the two, and it should get bigger after tonight. Eddie Hughes has 2 wins this season, Powers with 3. Sean Langton, who is third in points right now, got his first win last week. Thomas Eggleston fourth in points, and Scott Rochefort is 5th in points. Last week we were at Lucas Oil Raceway for 50 laps. We saw 3 cautions and 1 lead change. Michael Wallace got the lead very, very early on and led the first 8 laps before Sean Langton took over the lead and led the rest of the way. We saw Logan Powers take second, Scott Rochefort third, Eddie Hughes fourth, and Mike Durfee 5th. And we do want to take the time to thank our sponsors, Major's Garage and Club Jerky. Starting off, we're going to talk a little bit about Major's Garage. Major's Garage is the home of free baseline setups, awesome affordable monthly subscriptions, telemetry, coaching, and more. And make sure to visit majorsgarage.com if you're interested in any of those things. Mayhem Racing League is a powered by Major's Garage League, and Major's Garage has supplied the setups to these drivers for the races in the Mayhem Modified Series. And this league is open setup. These drivers have been tuning their cars all throughout qualifying to get it just right for the feature. Now, we also want to thank Club Jerky for their support of this league. Club Jerky constantly searches the country to find great tasting beef jerky. Only the best is delivered to their members and gift recipients. You basically select the amount of jerky you want them to send you each month. You tell them where to send the beef jerky. You can get it sent to your house, to your office, or even to someone special, and like magic, fresh and delicious jerky will arrive in the mail every single month. My family has tried it, and it's a good experience. We did the 2 jerkies for 3 months plan. We've already got one round of our 2 jerkies, and it was like a carne asada and a smoky one, and they're both really good, really quality product with the jerky, so I definitely recommend it. And there we go. Qualifying is wrapping up. Sean Langton will be starting on the pole. Looks like we still have cars on track, and I'm not sure why qualifying is continuing. We've gone past the time limit. Don't know if the session needs to be advanced. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like your top 5 right now is going to be Sean Langton, Eddie Hughes, Stephen Rochefort, Seth French has just joined the session, and David Enkenbauer. This is the first time we've seen Seth French in a race in quite some time. So let's see how well he is going to do at Watkins Glen. There we go. We finally see qualifying has wrapped up, and it is now time to grid for the feature event. So let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 1 minute 15.574 lap time, it's Sean Langton. Outside of him, we have Eddie Hughes in third, Stephen Rochefort. Then outside of him, Seth French, and then running at your top 5, David Ankenbauer. In 6th with the Widewater Motorsports Racing, Thomas Eggleston. In 7th, we have Scott Rochefort. 8th will be Mike Durfee. In the 9th spot from Canada, Michael Wallace. And then rounding out your top 10, we have Chris Spangler. And then 11th round, last but not least, it is Jordan Durans. So here we go. The time has started for these drivers. Again, this race will not be counted in laps, but time, 40 minutes, will be on the clock. And we are getting ready to start pacing. We look to the front row. And there we go. We are officially ready to get moving and starting our pace laps. Driver's going to try to get the tires warmed up as much as possible because you do not want to go into turn 1 here at Watkins Glen with cold tires, or you're going to go straight into the wall. Now, normally you see the driver who's starting on the pole would be on the inside, so that is the left car. But since the first turn here at Watkins Glen is a right turn, that will put Sean Langton. He will be starting on the right side. This is going to be a crazy one. This is one of the tracks here on the schedule in the Mayhem Modified Series where anyone has a chance to win. The question is, who will that be? And Watkins Glen does have a lot of configurations with the boot and the cup. This will be, these drivers will be racing on the cup configuration. I will say this, and this is my favorite road course to race on iRacing. I love this track. It's definitely very, very difficult, and I definitely think the driver who is going to win will have the least amount of off-track penalties. The key is to have no off-track penalties, or 1 or 2. That's going to be very difficult. And this is the first time that I have ever seen modifieds raced on a road course. I do know that in real life, the Wheeling Modified Tour has raced at both Watkins Glen and Lime Rock Park, I believe, but I've never announced a race with modifieds or raced in a race with modifieds at a road course. So this is new to me. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Pace cars in. And green flag is out there. We see Sean Langton taking off. Him and Eddie Hughes are side by side as we are heading into turn 1. Langton has the nose, though, as we go into the corner. And Sean Langton is clear. Langton up to first now, but Eddie Hughes hanging right behind him. We see Langton washes way up off the track through the grass, and that is going to give Eddie Hughes the lead now. We see Stephen Rochefort looking to Langton's outside as we go through this long straightaway. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Rochefort with the nose as we get ready to go through the chicane. See Sean Langton able to get back clear of Stephen Rochefort. I'm not sure what happened there with Sean Langton in turn 1, but we see Langton's gotten his groove back. He's looking under Eddie Hughes, back up to the lead now, and we see Stephen Rochefort also looking to get by Eddie Hughes. Looks like something might have happened to Hughes there in the chicane that slowed his momentum down a little bit. Hughes now back clear of Stephen Rochefort, but Rochefort all over that back bumper of the 34. We see Langton getting into the grass. Here's a look at the cockpit cam of Stephen Rochefort. Let's see how he handles turn 1. Oh no! We see Stephen Rochefort getting very loose off of turn number 1, and we see a car gets into his rear, and that is going to send him upside down onto his lid, and he is going to have to tow. Unfortunate, and he gets hit again. That is unfortunate for Stephen Rochefort, who was running in the top 3. Hate to see it for him. Look at this. A driver who started in the back has since made his way up the 5th, looking to take 4th now. That's Jordan Duran's trying to get by David Enkenbauer through the chicane. But the field getting very, very spread out right now. Sean Langton is able to take the lead now. Let's take a look at the incident again of Stephen Rochefort. So here he goes coming into turn number 1. Didn't get on to like the apron or anything. It just gets loose, and I think it might have had to do with downshifting maybe a little bit too quickly. We see Scott barely misses hitting him. David Enkenbauer able to get by, but Eggleston has nowhere to go, and he sends Stephen Rochefort onto a Mars mission, onto his lid, and then another car got into him. I believe that is Seth French who gets into him. And it looks like French is trying to turn. I do not know what happened there. We do see a battle for second beginning to brew. We see David Enkenbauer is reeling in. Scott Rochefort, the gap has extended again, but Enkenbauer is getting up there where we might see him try to make a pass in the chicane. Or no, we're coming to turn 1 now. We see Chris Spangler all over the back bumper of Mike Durfee. This is for that 6th spot. I think we might see him try to make a pass in turn number 1. Can't quite get up to him. So again, the field getting spread out so far. Sean Langton has the fastest lap time of the race with 1 minute 16. Only driver to do that. And he's still, though, about a second off of what he was running in qualifying. Let's see if he can get up there. And he has open track in front of him. See what he can do. Enkenbauer again on the back bumper of Scott Rochefort. Almost got into him there as we went into the chicane. He loses a little bit of ground, and he's looking to try to catch back up in these next couple of turns. Getting into the grass a little bit there. So far, the biggest move of the race belongs to Jordan Duran's. Started in that last place spot. We saw a lot of wrecks in laps 1 and 2, and he was just able to avoid them and make some smart passes and get up to 4th. And he's running very fast right now. And he's looking to try to get up to 3rd as he's reeling in David Enkenbauer. He's actually reeling in Enkenbauer fast, maybe trying to make a pass in turn number 1. Can't quite do it, but we definitely know Durant has speed right now. See, looks like something happened to Thomas Eggleston. Just was a little bit too hot coming into the corner there. We do see Ankenbauer trying to reel back in Scott Rochefort as we head through the corner right there. So here we go. We see, again, Ankenbauer chasing Scott Rochefort through the straight. And getting ready to go into the chicane. See if he can try to make a pass here. Reeling him in, reeling him in, reeling him in. Ankenbauer getting right there. Right now, Sean Langton just on a Sunday drive. Has a 7-second lead over second place, just cruising along. After having a little hiccup on lap number 1, he's really gotten himself into a rhythm. Seeing some wrecking going on between drivers. So far, the driver with the most off tracks. That award is going to have to go to Seth French. So far, he's gotten 6 off-track penalties and probably double-digit incident points. He's just had a rough race so far, and it all kind of started on that incident with the 66 of Stephen Rochefort. Ankenbauer continuing to try to reel in Scott Rochefort. We see him trying to get up there as we head through the chicane. He's actually reeling him in really fast. We see Rochefort watch his way up the track, and Ankenbauer looking to the low side under him, but he can't quite do it. Ankenbauer continuing to show speed. Ankenbauer just continuing to set up the pass. He might try to do something here. Oh, David getting very, very loose off of turn number 8. See, oh no! Ankenbauer getting very loose into turn number 1. We saw the same thing happen to Stephen Rochefort. Luckily, though, David Ankenbauer does not flip onto his lid, and he's able to still stay in the top 5. He's just going to have to take a deep breath, regroup, and just keep chugging along. But like I mentioned, Sean Langton able to break into the 1 minute 15 second mark. That 7 machine is the fastest it's going to be for quite some time as the tires wear. Langton needs to take advantage of this speed and these fresh tires and extend his lead over second place Scott Rochefort. See Eddie Hughes taking a look to the inside of Mike Durfee as we head through the chute. And I think he's going to try to make a pass here. Looking to his outside, gets a great run, and Eddie Hughes up to 6th now. We see a battle for 4th going on. David Ankenbauer, who lost a ton of ground after getting loose off of turn number 1. He's trying to get by Michael Wallace, round his back bumper, maybe try to make a pass into turn number 1. Can't quite do it. Let's see, can Ankenbauer maybe make a pass here in the chicane? Got right up to Wallace's back bumper, but he can't quite do it. Oh, we see Wallace wash his way up the track as we head through the chute. Ankenbauer able to get under him. We see Wallace coming back. We see Eddie Hughes there as well. Ankenbauer able to get back by as we head off of turn number 8, getting a little bit loose. And oh no! Wallace washes way up the track into the outside wall and then gets into the inside wall on this straightaway. And so this is going to put David Ankenbauer in 4th and Eddie Hughes back into the top 5. And oh no! Ankenbauer again struggling in turn number 1, gets loose, spins around, and he is able to get back on track. Has to slow down to let Mike Durfee by. Ankenbauer really struggling right now with turn number 1. Let's see if he can get that problem fixed. Again, we want to take this time to thank our 2 sponsors, Major's Garage and Club Jerky. Major's Garage is the home of 3 baseline setups, awesome affordable monthly subscriptions, telemetry, coaching, and more. And if you're interested in any of those things, if you want setups, you maybe want to get better at iRacing, make sure to visit their website at majorsgarage.com. Mayhem Racing League is powered by Majors Garage League, and Majors Garage was kind enough to supply setups for these drivers in this series to use, so these drivers could choose to just use the Majors Garage setup as it is, maybe make some changes to the Majors Garage setup, or use their own. But this league is a open setup league, and Majors Garage made a setup just for these drivers specifically for Watkins Glen. So shout out for Majors Garage for doing that. Also once again want to thank Club Jerky for their support of the league. Club Jerky constantly searches the country to find great tasting beef jerky. Only the best is delivered to their members and gift recipients, and you basically select the amount of beef jerky you want them to send you each month. You tell them where you want the jerky sent to. You get it sent to your house, to your office, or even to someone special. And then like magic, fresh and delicious jerky will arrive in the mail every month. So if you're a beef jerky fan, which I think at least we have one person watching who likes beef jerky, and you maybe want to get a jerky or 2 jerkies a month, if that would be something that you're interested in, like a surprise, then definitely go and check out clubjerky.com. Now, I also want to mention for those of you who might want to get into iRacing or get back into iRacing, iRacing is currently having a Black Friday deal right now, because as you know, Black Friday is coming up, and basically there are a lot of big deals. First of all, 25% off renewing an active membership. So you can save 25% when you renew iRacing for 12 or 24 months this Black Friday. And that's only if you are an active iRacing member. 25% off reactivating an expired iRacing membership. Now it's the perfect time to get back on track with iRacing with that 25% off. So say you used to do iRacing, got out of it, it's a perfect time to get back into it right now with that good deal. And then if you're new to iRacing, if you've never been on iRacing and you're interested in getting onto the platform, it's 50% off right now. I know Christmas is coming up, and iRacing is the perfect gift for a car fan or a racing fan. There's not just NASCAR on here. There's oval cars from NASCAR to modifieds. There's road course from Lamborghinis to Delaras. There's dirt from sprint cars to midgets, and there's even Pro 2 light trucks or Baja trucks, Volkswagen Beetles. There's anything you can imagine on the iRacing platform. So if you're a car fan or a racing fan, now's the perfect opportunity to get on iRacing because it's 50% off getting a membership. Right now, Sean Langton just set the fastest lap time of the race with a 1 minute 15 seconds, .91 lap time. That's the fastest lap time of the race, and Langton's the only driver to break into the 1 minute 15 second. He's already been racing for 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes already, and his tires seem to be doing just fine. So Langton doing a great job saving those tires. Still the biggest move of the race, that's going to belong to Jordan Durans, who is up to third now. Started in the last spot and has been able to avoid a lot of the wrecks. He has 0 off-track penalties, so he's been very, very smooth, hitting his marks, not making any mistakes, and that is definitely the key here at Watkins Glen. He currently has a 9-second gap between him and second place. Let's see if he can reel in Scott Rochefort by the end of the 40 minutes. Our biggest faller, though, is going to have to Stephen Rochefort. Rochefort got into an incident on lap number 2, or just got a little bit loose off of turn number 1. Speaking of loose, oh no! Langton almost lost it there through the chute. That would have been a disaster. But we see Langton is able to save it. Michael Wallace coming into the pits. David Ankenbauer now currently up to 6th now, trying to make his way back into the top 5. Ankenbauer was struggling a little bit, especially in turn number 1. I don't know if he's fixed those problems. We'll see. Let's just take a look at your top 5 right now. Here's how we're looking. Sean Langton. Sean Langton in 1st. Scott Rochefort in 2nd. Jordan Durans in 3rd. 4th is Eddie Hughes. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Mike Durfee. And right now, these drivers are going fast right now. We see right now the top speed in these cars are about 127 to 128 miles per hour. These cars are flying around this road course. And once again, we are running the Cup configuration. So, no boot here in this race. Oh, Langton again getting off track, a little bit squirrely. But luckily, he has a 16-second lead. We got a battle for 3rd. Eddie Hughes has finally reeled in Jordan Durans and looking to try to make a pass here as we head into turn number 7. Can't quite get there. Last turn. And if not, he'll have to set something up for turn number 1, which where I've seen a lot of drivers, turn number 1 is where they are making their passes. Hughes all over the back bumper of Jordan Durans, taking a look down low. Able to get to Durans' rear quarter panel. We see Durans washes way up the track. We see Eddie Hughes able to get by him and up to 3rd now. He's going to be setting his sights on your 2nd place driver, Scott Rochefort. There's a 12-second gap between 2nd and 3rd right now. And I think now with the field getting spread apart a little bit, we're going to go ahead, turn up the volume, and pump up the intensity. So here we go. is going to do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you enjoyed us turning up the volume and getting to hear these sounds and sights of the racetrack. Still, Sean Langton leads with an 18-second lead over second place Scott Rochefort. One thing these drivers are going to have to be keeping in mind is tires potentially. Let's see, so far we've turned 19 laps, so not sure what the tire window is going to be and if these drivers will come in at all. We will see. There is only 5 cars on the lead lap: Sean Langton, Scott Rochefort, Eddie Hughes, Jordan Durans, and Mike Durfee. So I don't know if that will play a factor or anything. Still, Jordan Durans is your biggest mover of the race. Gained 7 spots after starting in that last position. What a great job making his way up through the field. And I think the main thing is just for Jordan Durans has been keeping it clean. He only has 1 off-track penalty, which is the lowest out of everybody. And he's hit his mark, has been really clean. Few mistakes from that 48 machine, and that's a lot of what you need to be successful at Watkins Glen. Yeah, it's been all Stephen Black here throughout this race. Just absolutely dominated this one. Started on the pole, we knew he was fast, but he's really fast. Obviously, again, Stephen Rochefort with a very tough break. On lap number 2, he got into an incident. This is it right here. So he gets really, really loose off of turn number 1. See, Scott Rochefort barely misses hitting him. Eggleston has nowhere to go, plows right into him. This is going to send Rochefort airborne onto his roof. He's going to stay on his roof. And then we see Seth French comes plowing into him. So, man, what in very unfortunate circumstances this race for Stephen Rochefort. 22-second lead now for Sean Langton. That's absolutely incredible. Again, what a dominant performance for Langton. And if he can keep this lead for 11 more minutes, this will be his second win in a row. And there is no better time to have a good few dominant races, a good streak of dominant races, than in the middle of the season where the point standings is very, very important. Langton sitting third in points right now, not too far off of points leader Eddie Hughes. If he can keep accumulating these good top 3 finishes, then he'll surely be up to the top of the point standings in no time. We know Sean Langton knows how to get championships. He won the championship in the LNS Customs Late Model Series, but he did not get nearly, or he got much more wins in that series than in this one. He's only gotten 1 win this season, while we've seen Logan Powers and Eddie Hughes combined for 5 wins so far this season. Those two have just been very, very dominant. Of course, Logan Powers not participating in this race, so this should help Eddie Hughes increase his point standings lead, but this should also help Sean Langton get up to second in points. And we have less than 10 minutes left here in our race. Can Sean Langton finish this one out? Look at your top 5 right now. See Sean Langton in first. Second place is Scott Rochefort. In third is Eddie Hughes. Fourth is Jordan Durans. And then rounding out your top 5, we have Mike Durfee. Let's take a look at the lap from the perspective of Sean Langton. There we see him coming into turn number 1, washes way up off the road, gets back on track, getting into the grass a little bit. Now through this long stretch of track, you don't want to push it too hard or else you'll spin in this portion of the track, and we're getting ready for the chicane now. Ooh, almost getting off track there a couple of times, but good car control there of Sean Langton for being able to keep it off the grass. Coming to turn number 7 now, one of the hardest turns here at Watkins Glen. There we go. This is going to be a really fast lap, I can tell. About a second off of his fastest lap time. Still not bad for Sean Langton. You can definitely see why he's in first. A little bit better car control there in turn number 1. Keep up that momentum through the straightaway. Getting ready for the chicane now. Looks like this is going to be a much better lap time compared to last time for Sean Langton. It was. Picked up 4 tenths. does look like Sean Langton is reeling in lap traffic. That's Mike Durfee. After he gets by him, there will only be 4 cars on the lead lap, and this will just further continue Sean Langton's dominant performance. He's just had great pace all throughout this race. Here we go. Officially, Sean Langton has put Durfee a lap down. There's only 4 cars on the lead lap now. We're coming to 5 minutes left for Sean Langton. So far, Langton has turned almost 30 laps, which is pretty good in 40 minutes, or I guess it's been 35 minutes. Pretty good in 35 minutes. And remember, stay tuned, because after this, we're going from road course racing to super speedway racing with the SESRA Xfinity Series race at Talladega. It's going to be 75 laps of super speedway racing action. You don't want to miss it, so make sure to turn on notifications on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, whichever one you watch us on, so you'll get notified as soon as we go back live. I do want to thank everyone for helping us reach our goal of 500 subscribers on YouTube. It is crazy to think about. I mean, if you told me that we would reach 500 subscribers back when we started the channel in April of 2020, I would be like, you're crazy. It's crazy how much we've grown on the platform, and I appreciate everybody who has subscribed to us on YouTube. And if you haven't already, you're watching us on maybe Twitch or Facebook, go to your YouTube account and subscribe to us on there. That would be greatly appreciated. I also want to give a shout out to everybody who's followed us on Twitter. We surpassed 50 followers on Twitter, and we had a huge surge of people come to the page after we dropped a poll asking what was your favorite series, and we saw all of the people in the leagues were sharing the post asking their members to vote for the league, and it looked like the original Rebels Racing League won the poll. So shout out to them. They had a lot of their drivers come in and vote for the poll and help the Rebels get that poll win, and they have currently won the favorite, on Twitter at least, the favorite Intensity Broadcasting series. But again, we only started Twitter. We just hit our year mark a couple weeks ago. So it's crazy to think how much we've grown on Twitter. And we've gotten a few big followers on there. I know we got former NASCAR driver Nathan Lyons. He followed us. Trying to think. We've gotten a few other big names as well. The owner of Langley Speedway, Bill Mullis, followed us on there. I think we've gotten a few others as well, but it's just, man, shout out to everyone who has followed us on Twitter. We're coming to 1 minute left for Sean Langton, currently with a 22-second lead. 21 seconds right now separates Sean Langton and Scott Rochefort. And there we go. One more lap for Sean Langton. As the time wraps up, he is your leader. So that means that he is the winner of this one. This is going to be Sean Langton's second win of the season on two completely different tracks, Lucas Oil Raceway and then here at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Making it through turn 7 and then into turn 8. And then Sean Langton will be declared the winner. Coming to the finish. Sean Langton gets it done here at Watkins Glen. Your winner, 2 wins in a row for that 7 machine. What a race. See if we can get a burnout from that number 7 machine. Man, what a dominant performance. Finished with a 17-second lead over second place, Scott Rochefort. There we see Sean Langton burning it down here at Watkins Glen in a well-deserved burnout at that for that 7 machine. What a race for him. Dominant performance. So that is going to do it. I don't know if anybody is going to come into the waiting room for an interview. If not, we will wrap it up and get ready for the SCSRA Xfinity Series. Again, going from a road course to a super speedway. I think that is going to do it here for the Club Jerky, Mayhem Modifieds. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to watch the broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to get to 2,000 followers on Facebook by our 2-year anniversary, which is in April of 2022. Same thing, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We just got to 500 again. Thank you for that. And make sure to check us out on Twitter as well. We just hit 50 on there, so shout out to everyone who followed us on there. See, Eddie Morris on Facebook says, best broadcasters in the business. Appreciate that, Eddie. And make sure to, again, just check us out on all 3 platforms. I'm Atlee Atman-Wiesner on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Over.